On tea-soaked cake preservation. Victorians loved their fruitcakes, but keeping them moist was a challenge. Their secret? Soak a cloth in cold black tea, wring it out, and wrap the cake tightly before storing in a tin. The tea's tannins act as a natural preservative, preventing mold while adding subtle depth. Change the cloth weekly to keep cakes fresh for months. This saves $5–10 monthly by avoiding spoiled baked goods. Tea's antimicrobial properties slow bacterial growth, a trick savvy cooks used for holiday treats. 2. String-wrapped egg storage. No refrigerators? No problem. Victorians tied clean cotton string around fresh eggs to create a breathable barrier, then stored them in cool cellars. The string prevents air from penetrating the shell, extending freshness by 2 to 3 weeks. This hack saves $3 monthly by reducing egg waste. The science: eggshells are porous and string slows oxygen exchange, delaying spoilage. A simple knot kept breakfast on the table. 3. Vinegar pie crust flakiness. Victorian bakers swore by a tablespoon of white vinegar in pie dough. It creates a tender, flaky crust without altering flavor. The acid weakens gluten formation, ensuring a melt-in-your-mouth texture. This trick saves $2 per pie by rivaling bakery quality for pennies. Tests show vinegar doughs are 20% flakier than water-based ones. From apple tarts to meat pies, this was a staple in bustling manor kitchens. 4. Potato water bread booster. Don't toss the water from boiling potatoes. Victorians used it to knead bread dough, adding subtle sweetness and a softer crumb. The starch-rich water feeds yeast, creating loftier loaves. One batch saves $1 by stretching flour further. Potato starch increases water retention, yielding 15% more volume per loaf. This hack turned humble spuds into bakery magic. 5. Candle wax jar. Sealing before modern lids. Victorians sealed jam jars with melted candle wax. Pour a thin layer over cooled preserves, let it harden, and cover with cloth. The wax blocks air, keeping jams fresh for a year. This saves $8 to $12 annually by preventing spoilage. Wax creates an anaerobic seal, starving mold of oxygen. A single candle sealed dozens of jars, proving frugality's power. 6. Salted butter wrapping. Hard butter ruined Victorian toast, so cooks wrapped sticks in brine-soaked muslin. The salt kept butter spreadable at room temperature while preventing rancidity. Replace the cloth every 3 days to maintain freshness for weeks. Save $2 monthly by avoiding wasted butter. Salt's hygroscopic nature regulates moisture, a trick borrowed from shipboard kitchens. 7. Lemon rind sugar scrub. Victorians never tossed citrus peels. They grated lemon rinds into sugar, creating a fragrant scrub for cleaning pots and flavoring desserts. The oils cut grease while infusing sugar with zest. This dual-use hack saves $3 monthly on cleaning supplies and flavorings. Citric acid breaks down grime, while volatile oils add aroma. A peel's double life brightened both kitchen and table. 8. Milk curd pancake fluff. Sour milk. Victorians turned it into fluffy pancakes. A cup of curdled milk reacts with baking soda, creating carbon dioxide for airy batter. This saves $4 monthly by repurposing spoiled milk. The acid-base reaction mimics buttermilk's leavening power. Pancakes were a breakfast staple, especially in frugal households feeding large families. 9. Onion ash odor eliminator. Burnt onion skins in a tin neutralized kitchen odors, a Victorian fix for fishy or greasy smells. Sprinkle ashes in corners or near drains for a fresh scent. This saves $5 monthly on commercial deodorizers. Charred onion skins absorb volatile compounds, acting as natural air purifiers. Even posh homes use this trick post-dinner party. And 10. Bread crust soup bowls. Stale bread crusts were hollowed out and toasted to serve as edible soup bowls. They soaked up broth, adding flavor and reducing dishwashing. Save $2 weekly by skipping extra bowls and waste. Crust's starch absorbs liquid, creating a hearty meal. Victorians served these at cozy winter suppers, stretching every loaf. 11. Apple core vinegar. Starter. Apple cores and peels, fermented in water with a spoonful of sugar, created homemade vinegar. After 4 weeks, strain for a tangy condiment. This saves $6 monthly on store-bought vinegar. Natural yeasts convert sugars to acetic acid, a process Victorians perfected for pickling. Waste became wealth in thrifty kitchens. 12. Tin can biscuit cutter. No biscuit cutters? Victorians used clean tin cans, rims smoothed, to shape perfect rounds. This saves $10 on specialty tools. The sharp edge cuts dough cleanly, and cans double as storage. Every scullery maid knew this hack for tea-time scones. In 13. Coffee sock. Straining cheesecloth was pricey, so Victorians strained broths and jellies through clean cotton socks. Boil socks first for sanitation, then filter away. This saves $4 monthly on straining materials. Cotton's tight weave catches fine particles, a trick used for crystal-clear consommes. 14. Fireplace toast technique. No toaster? Victorians skewered bread on forks and held it over fireplace embers for perfect toast. The slow heat caramelized sugars, enhancing flavor. Save $1 weekly on bread waste. Maillard reactions create complex flavors, making simple bread a treat. 15. Sugar cube. Spice storage. Victorians stored saffron or vanilla in jars with sugar cubes. The cubes absorbed flavors, doubling as sweeteners for tea or baking. This saves $3 monthly on spices. Sugar's porous structure traps aromatic oils, preserving potency. A cube elevated afternoon tea to elegance. 17. Flour sack, napkin reuse. Flour sacks were sewn into napkins, washed and reused, cutting costs on linens. One sack made 10 napkins, saving $8 yearly. Cotton's durability ensured longevity, a staple in modest homes hosting dinner parties. 18. Eggshell seed starters. Cracked eggshells served as biodegradable pots for seedlings. Fill with soil, plant seeds, and transfer to garden. This saves $5 on nursery pots. Calcium from shells enriches soil, boosting growth. Victorian gardeners swore by this for herbs. 19. Beet juice food. Dye-boiled beet water dyed icings and fabrics naturally. A tablespoon adds vibrant pink without chemicals. Save $4 monthly on dyes. Anthocyanins provide stable color, a trick for dazzling Victorian desserts. 20. Twine-tied herb bouquets. Fresh herbs were tied with twine and hung to dry, preserving flavor for winter. This saves $6 monthly on dried herbs. Air drying retains 50% more essential oils than store-bought. Kitchens smelled divine, and soup sang. 21. Molasses stain remover spilled gravy. Victorians dabbed molasses on stains, let it sit, then washed. It lifted grease without harsh chemicals. Save $3 on cleaners. Molasses sugars bind to oils, loosening them. Even fancy tablecloths were saved. 22. Rice grain knife sharpener. Dull knives were thrust into a jar of dry rice, twisted and sharpened. The grain's abrasion honed edges. This saves $10 on sharpening tools. Silica in rice polishes steel, a hack for busy cooks. 23. Chalk in flour jars. A piece of chalk in flour jars absorbed moisture, preventing clumps and bugs. Replace monthly for freshness. Save $3 on spoiled flour. Chalk's calcium carbonate wicks humidity, a trick from Victorian pantries. 24. Carrot top pesto. Carrot greens blended with garlic and oil made a peppery pesto. This saves $5 monthly on herbs. Greens chlorophyll adds nutrients, a frugal twist for Victorian soups and pastas. 25. Penny in soup pot. A clean penny dropped in soup pots prevented scorching. The copper conducted heat evenly, saving $2 monthly on ruined meals. Copper's thermal properties stabilize temperatures, a secret for perfect broths.